you go to other churches, I'm not boasting, and you ask the way they are organized, you are going to see that they are lacking a lot where health is what? Concerned, right? So that's one reason. And then the other reason, I'm a medical doctor, so the only thing I can do is to talk about health. I'm not a politician. I'm not a member of the parliament. I'm not a pastor. I am not a teacher. I am a medical doctor, all right? So health is my expertise. So my wife teaches English, so she's more concerned about how to pronounce things properly, how to have the grammar. I care less about that. As long as you can understand me, I can understand you, we are fine. So bear with me if from time to time you hear like French or Spanish or Arabic coming, because I speak so many languages. As long as you can understand, we are fine. I decided today to talk to us about diabetes. And I know the world is crazy today, now, because of the coronavirus. But I'm going to pause a little bit to tell you my personal findings. I checked how many people died in Jamaica in 2019, in 2020, right? And in 2022, 2020 up to now, and 2021 up to now, the same amount of people are dying. Okay? What is telling me is that even though people are dying with the virus, but it is not more or less than other years. These are findings that doctors will listen to. I'm not going to go to YouTube and say, oh, people are dying, people are dying. I say, I need to see evidence. If you read the yesterday article, somebody from somewhere wrote, their mother had heart failure, and they say that the mother died of coronavirus. Because the heart failure person, we also need what? Oxygen. But not all people who need oxygen, they have what? Coronavirus. So these are things that interest me as a medical doctor. They're just telling me somebody, he died, he couldn't breathe. Kidney failure will give you short of breath. Lung cancer will give you short of breath. Lower respiratory tract infection in the lungs will give you what? Short of breath. Coronavirus will give you what? Short of breath. So not everybody who needs oxygen, he has or she has coronavirus. So these are things that interest me. So this telling me now that we're having a problem, but we might be overly what? Reacting. Okay? The problem is there. Let us deal with the problem, follow the protocol, and move on with our life. Amen, church? So we can't just shut down and be in the four wall and going in the fridge every now and then, and we get fat and we get depressed and the pressure goes up, sugar goes up. And instead of making things better, we make it what? Worse, okay? So we're going to talk about diabetes. I'm going to take you very slowly. In fact, I'm finishing a book on diabetes. You will soon hear. But before we start, I'm going to ask God divine presence as we go through the presentation. After the presentation, I will give a few minutes so that we can ask questions, and then we will answer to the questions. We need to leave here before the curfew, right? Curfew time is what, 8 o'clock, 6? 6, so by 5, we should be finishing here, right? Good. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you today for a blessed Sabbath. We thank you for the privilege of life, that we can inhale your oxygen freely, and that we can communicate and understand what you want to tell us and what we tell to each other. Thank you for Sabbath day. we do not only thank you for us here, but wherever your children gathered together to praise, glorify, and magnify thy name. Because indeed you are the God, the creator of the universe and of the earth. You are in charge of the world. This is what we pray. In Jesus Christ's name, we say amen. Amen. So I'm going to talk like for 30 minutes and then 30 to 45 minutes, and they will ask questions, and then we will close. Now, diabetes is a lifestyle disease. We're going to go through different types of diabetes, but the most prevalent one is nothing than a lifestyle disease. When we talk about a lifestyle disease, we simply mean this. It is a disease produced, caused, created, fabricated, brought up by the way we drink, the way we live, the way we eat, the way we socialize, even more the way we worship. Because some worshipers have some weird ideas that can lead to some diseases, right? So this is a lifestyle disease. Diabetes is one of them. Now, what is diabetes? Diabetes is when the body cannot produce insulin, or the body produces insulin, but not using it. That is diabetes. What is insulin? Insulin is a hormone that helps to take the sugar that comes from dumpling, rice, cheese, every starch that we eat, like now. When we eat, it breaks down to sugar. When it gets to the bloodstream, the brain sends a message to the pancreas, secrete insulin. The job of insulin now is to get the sugar from the vessels into the body, into the meat, so that the sugar can be used as source of what? Energy. When that function is affected, either when the pancreas comes to take the sugar from the vessel into the body, not getting it through, or the pancreas not producing insulin, this is diabetes. How many types of diabetes do we have? I'm going to mention only 5. One is diabetes type 1. It consists of 5 to 10% of the all populations of diabetics. All over the world now, we have close to 500 million of people living with diabetes. So out of that, 5 to 10% are diabetic what? Type 1. Type 1 diabetes is when the body cannot produce insulin at all. That means you will need to get external insulin, and then that's where the problem comes with what? The sticking. Now, until now, I've never found a cure for that. This is not a lifestyle disease. Type 1 is just something goes wrong in your body, and boom, you develop type 1 diabetes. We can't prevent it. We can't say, well, I watch it or I'm borderline. No. Type 1, you're not borderline. When you go to the doctor, it comes rapidly and you go and the sugar high. And you have to be on insulin. However, your lifestyle can minimize the amount of insulin you take. If you have to take 50, 60 a day, and you change your diet, you can only take 10 or 20, right? And then that is mainly diagnosed among children. Adults also can be diagnosed, but mainly children. it touched me the other day at KPH. What, 16 or 15 years old child? No, it was less than that, 14. Came with sugar. I said, oh man. I said, son, you have sugar? I said, but doc, I don't eat sugar. I don't eat sugar. Because the mother is diabetic. And he made that not eating sugar. But unfortunately, he ended up what? Developing type 1 diabetes. Because when we are going to talk about the risk factors, we are going to mention about the family history. Watch out. If your family, somebody has sugar, like in mine, on both sides, and me say, me no want it. I say, God, I will not get sugar. But look at me. I live like a diabetic. I move like a diabetic. I eat like a diabetic. I drink like a diabetic. I am on YouTube talking about diabetics and talking to myself. Normally, in my family at early 50s, when they develop, I'm way past 50 and I'm not having it. So here is where, knowing your life, family stories, you can fight certain diseases, right? Diabetes type 2, this one is for adult. We diagnose between 40, 50. Even though now we find it prevalent among high school students because of what? Overweight, right? So we find it now in children, but mainly it is diagnosed among adults. This one, which is a lifestyle disease, it is made up of 90 to 95% of all diabetics. So out of almost 400 million, 90 to 95% are diabetics type 2. This is now a lifestyle disease, all right? Most of those who are diagnosed, they have some characteristic. There is now diabetes type 1.5. Type 1.5, it's mainly diabetes type 1, diagnosed among what? Adults. They are not the usual type of diabetes patient, a bit overweight. No, they are slim. They are quite okay. You put them on oral medications. They respond for 3 years, 4 years, nothing works. You have to put them on insulin. There's another diabetes called gestational diabetes, pregnancy diabetes. This girl said, Dr. Gombele, yeah, I'm pregnant. The eyes just bubbling because she got married 3 years ago, and people were talking. I said, listen, don't follow people. If God wants you to have children, you will have children. But I told you, you're having children in the wrong time. Listen to me. If I was single now, in 2021, in Jamaica, I was 25. I don't tell you what I would have thought. Now, because good children stopped being born in the 90s. The 2000 children, you know what I'm talking about. They are not children. I don't know what to call them. I don't know what name to give them. Across the globe, they share the same characteristic. I'm going to only name 3. Lazy. Entitlement. You brought them, they think that's it, because you brought them, you have to carry the 9 months in the tummy, not enough. You have to put them on your back, and then they take ever to grab the things. They are going to be adult when they are 40, because things I used to do when I was 15. At 15, I sat. Me no have a father, me no have a mother. I said, boy, my life is hard, I have to do well at school quickly. I don't want to waste a second at school. No, them quite cool and drunk. Them nothing rush them. You take them to extra class, they waste their time. You take them home, they waste their time. All they have is this machine. Huh? And I heard now they want to put the tablet into their brain. That's when it's going to get worse. They're so comfortable. Nothing disturbs them. And then third, very demanding. Very demanding. They know all the best things. This is not for children, but I'm just saying, if I were 25 now and looking for a woman to marry now, I don't know what I'll have to tell that girl. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not joking, you know. Honestly now, knowing now, raising a child who was born in 2003 and the other one in 1998, completely different type of breed we are dealing with now. And then those who are going to be born in 2022, God be with you, mothers and fathers. You need to ask God guidance. Because I will tell you something. This time now, it's technocrat time. Technology is going to run things. Technology. And I hear my son saying, Google, where is Red Hill Street? And Google said, Red Hill Street is above the road, a Tornest. And I say, Google. And Google say, yes. Where is Pressmont? Pressmont just at the corner. As you go down, you turn left, you turn right. Here, Pressmont. I laugh out loud in my room. Idiot Google, misleading children. Ask Google, Google, when is Christ coming? Laugh out loud. The coming of the Christ is a lie. The Christ will never come. That Google will give you that. And you ask, Google, what is my gender? They say, well, you need to go to see a psychiatrist and a pediatrician, a psychologist, and they're going to have a meeting and they're going to discuss your gender. That's what Google will say. And you say, Google, what do I need to do to get a job? And Google will say, just go on internet and look for the jobs. You're going to find some quick money job making. And this is my son, who is 18. Instead of coming to the father to ask the father, he goes to Google. Is Google or Google? I don't even care less how I pronounce it. Can you imagine the child you are going to raise now? They will put Google in his brain. This child, when he's going to be born, they will put Google in the maternity and he will not have to ask Google, where is Google? Will be him already telling him what to do. And then me to have children in this time? Diabetes, gestational diabetes, developed during pregnancy, right? And then that, what we call gestational diabetes. And diabetes number 5, medication that we use to treat one illness can unfortunately develop another illness. One of them is prednisone, very good medication, but the first and the strongest side effect of prednisone is what? Diabetes. Now, sometimes when we stop the medication, diabetes reverses, and sometimes it doesn't. So we have to say, between lupus and diabetes, which one? We will treat lupus and also treat what? Diabetes. Now, what are the risk factors of developing diabetes? Family history. Listen to me. Get to know your family history very well. Some diseases run in genes. I have lived long enough at KPH to see a lady who used to bring the mother for sugar, and the mother lost the lower limbs right below the knees, and pushing the mother. That was in 2000. She was what? She was 45. Now it's 2020. She's 61. The daughter pushing her blind. Blind of what? Sugar. And I told the daughter, I said, I saw your grandmother was pushed here by your mom. Now you're pushing your mom. She said, Doc, me no better than that. Look at me. Me look close to my mom. I said, no. I said, keep it up. Because if not, you will develop the same disease. She said, Doc, I am not going that direction. So when things run in the family, we can fight it, but you must know that it is in the family. And you must know what caused the disease, what we eat and what we drink and how we socialize. So you come and you do completely different. My brother cannot go through this door. My brother. No, my blood brother back home. He cannot go through here. Or you have to, I don't know what he can do. Sister maybe. He eats everything. And if you ask him, I say, oh yes, but our grandparents ate. I say, yes, but they didn't eat what we're eating now. I say, yes, but they ate, but they died in 90s, 100. Look at you, 62, blind. You say, well, I'm going to die anyway. I say, no, I don't want to die anyway. I don't want to die depending on people. I don't want to die with pampers on my bed. I don't want to die blind. I cannot walk. I cannot read. I cannot talk. I don't want to die that way. I don't want to die depending on people in a nursing home. And guess what? He's blind now. He got a stroke. And the children want to put him on where? Nursing home. I don't want to die that way. It can be avoided or delayed, right? So family history. 2, diet, what we eat. I'm going to tell you something. We only believe in meat versus no meat. We know that, you know. But no, we have to go further than that. We have to say, genetically modified from non-modified. We have to say organic from highly processed. We have to say too much eating from eating just to be there, right? Because even though they say the Ezekiel bread is good, if you yum up the old Ezekiel bread in the morning, it's going to spike your sugar. Even though we say all wheat is good, if you cornmeal porridge, big bowl of porridge like that, and you put Nestle, and you put sugar, and you drink syrup, and say, I have drunk, you are going to raise your sugar high. So eating too much versus eating too little. I'm not saying starve yourself, but you know when your belly full, and you still go further. I don't know why black people think that you have to have the belly full to say that we have eaten 12 dumpling, 10 dumpling, cornmeal porridge, which is starch, fried dumpling, starch, syrup, sugar is starch, and we drink. That's not good. Family history, diet, and lack of what? Exercise. Lack of exercise. Lack of exercise. Lack of exercise. It can allow us to develop diabetes, medications, race, lack of exercise, sedentary lifestyle, family history. Look out for those. I ask patients, in your family, do you know anybody with diabetes? I don't know. I say, go and know. Go and check. Oh, yes, doc. I spoke to my grandma, and my grandma said that grandpa had diabetes. Sometimes it can skip one generation, and it catches the other generation, right? Breast cancer, cervical cancer. These are lifestyle stories, but can also be in our genes, right? So risk factors now. How do we know that really we are diabetic? I'm talking about the signs and Symptoms: drinking too much water. You drink, still drink. Because too much sugar in the body, and the body want to flush it out. You eat, but you are still tired and losing weight. Because what? The energy, the protein, all the minerals are trapped within the vessel. When insulin goes to get them in the body, cannot do that, and they trap, and you start losing weight. And they say, but, oh, no, I drink water because it's hot. I said, but I don't drink 5 liters water. Patient trying to defend why they're drinking water. I said, how many times you get in the night? 10 times. But because before I go to bed, I said, no, but I drink water before I go to my bed. I don't get up 10 times. Something not right, right? So drinking a lot of water, thirsty, wound that cannot heal, itching under the breast, the skin, the groin, right? Fatigue, blurred vision, sugar too much start affecting the vision. And sometimes you don't know until you have a stroke, and we go and we find that you have diabetes. I need to mention this, that we are not treating diabetes right. Because I'm going to talk about the treatment. And you'll agree with me, we only treat 25% of diabetes. How do you treat diabetes? Go to the doctor, get your medication, and go in your yard. Isn't that so? That's what they say. And they know if you're Seventh-day Adventist, you say, but doc, anything else? Oh no, man. Yum up everything you want as long as you take your medication and you go, you are happy, you love food. Where I thought I'm going to starve myself, Me, I go and yum up everything and take the medication. It does not work. It does not work. Because when you yum up 10 dumpling, curry goat, and chicken, you eat up. And if you listen to yourself, we eat without being hungry, Because it is morning, I have to eat. But you're not hungry. If you're not hungry, drink something hot, bite a fruit, move on. And then as it is lunchtime, you start looking for food. Are you really hungry? Most of the time, no. Because it is time. As it is dinner. But some of us who grew up in the very poor circumstances, morning you brush up your teeth, you drink water, and you go to class. You don't know about this lunch money. Only when I came to Jamaica, I know that something like lunch money exists, that you give children every morning and they go and buy lunch. They don't take anything from home. You can have food from home. You can have leftover food. They put it in the fridge. In my house, I'm the only one who eat leftover food because grandma told me leftover food are nice. Everything settles in the whatever is there. And back home, they used to put leftover in a palm leaf and hang it over the fire. That leftover, in the morning, nice. I go to the fridge, say, oh God, I can't waste my money. I'm the only one who eat a lot of leftover. They don't know that. I said, pick up even some bread, do some. I said, no, Daddy, they're going to laugh at me at school. This can't work at school. So we eat too much eating. Even though you do not have the family history of diabetes, you can develop diabetes. All right? So the treatment, it is not eat everything and take medication. Eat something, stop eating others. Go and what? Exercise. It is not a part of treatment. It is a treatment by itself. Exercise. Because when I diagnose people with type 2 diabetes, I see them, I say, listen, you have two. I can give you medications and I tell you diet and whatever. Or I put you on diet for 6 months and we see what happens. Those who accept diet, after not even 6 months, after 3 months, they slim down and they don't need medication. Those who go with diet, medication, exercise, have to cut the medication because they find when they take the medication, the sugar start going low because exercise, eating right, diet, you control your diabetes with only one medication. Now, eat everything, take your medication, that will lead you to insulin. And if you go to doctor, as one of them came, I said, Dr. Gombele, somebody send me your number from Canada. I said, go and look at this man. Because I went to my doctor, he was the one who told me, take your medication and eat everything. When I go last time, he said, your sugar too high, man, I have to put you on insulin. I run out of that man's office. Because when I imagine insulin needle every day, you see, they tell you one thing. When it goes wrong, they don't blame themselves. They still blame you, though. They say, well, I don't know why the sugar cannot control. So you don't eat everything. So what is the treatment? The treatment has 4 components. First component is education. You know that diabetes, it is not difficult, but if you just careless, it becomes serious. One day I was at the operating theater, and then the architect, age 55, came out half limb, and the way they did it above the knee. No, you are architect. You have to go on the field, and you lost your limb. And you are not like some of those rich people who they were born and the father left billion. You are just like me hustling. Whatever you have to sweat for it. And you have 2 children, one going to UA, one going to high school. And you have lost your lower limb. And then when I asked him, what happened? He said, Doc, I did not know. You did not know that diabetes can make you lose your lower limb. But it's late now. This is education. You must know the risk you are running if you are careless. Number 2, diet. You must know that diabetic patient must not eat too much flour. Especially today is flour. Your enemy number 1 is rice, white bread, dumpling, festival, fritters. Look at your eyes there. You say, Dr. Gombele, so what is left there for us to eat? Because you took away dumpling from my plate. You took away rice from my plate. You took away fritters. Carnival or festival? Festival, right? Is the one when you squeeze, you see oil coming out. It's festival. And these are delicacy for Jamaicans. And these are what is causing diabetes and obesity, right? So what is else to eat? I can tell you, breadfruit. Fried plantain you can eat. You can eat green plantain. You can eat ripe plantain. You can fry, boil as you want it. You can eat yam. You can eat pumpkin. You can eat all produced food. But even though, in what? Moderation. Moderation. Because if this is the plate, you divide the plate in 2. The other half should be what? Vegetables. The other half, you divide it in 2. Protein and starch. But you go to, I don't want to call names. They say, I want a box of food. Them ready, whoop, rice. And I say, stop right there. And they look at me. They look at me like I'm coming. I say, that's fine. Move now to vegetable. And they just became just sprinkless about dip. No. This is how we serve vegetable. They give you 80% starch, 10% vegetable, and 10% protein. I don't want to talk about the dressing salad. All these are sugar. I drove in Kingston in various schools during lunchtime. They give children fries, ketchup, and a bottle of soda. No, you tell me. You tell me. Huh? Fries, ketchup, which is sugar, and a soda. And fried chicken, and they roll the chicken in what? Flour. And the oil that they dip the chicken, God knows where that oil is from. Now, you tell me. And then now, when my son eat that, he start jumping, and they say, oh, Dr. Gombele, your son is stubborn. I say, but look what you're giving my child. Oh, he's kicking more. I say, but he's at Walmart. Walmart says, oh, no, he kick it too hard, and he fight. But what you give them, too much sugar, too much energy. They can't keep quiet. And they are boys. They have hormones, too much sugar. They have to channel the energy some. I said, I'm not going to that meeting. And the man that jumped, they don't like my son. I'm going to talk. I'm a teacher. I know the rule. I say, you go because I don't know the rule. You go. Right? So, and then now we have a problem. 60%, no, 30% of all high school children are what? Obese. That means they are perfect candidate for what? Type 2 diabetes. It hurt me when a primary school child, borderline diabetes, primary school, you know, primary school. So you take your medication, you exercise, diet, and education. This is a part of education. If your doctor told you, yum everything, take your medication, come to me, switch him. I have my card, I'm going to give you the card. Switch your doctor, come to me. I will tell you, eat something, do not eat others, learn to eat some. Because sometimes what we don't like is healthy for us. Unfortunately, but that's the real. What you don't like is healthy for us. It's like drinking water. It's healthy. Drinking water. Eating vegetables. It is healthy. But those who are born after 2000, they don't like vegetables because they are addicted to what? Bottles. And the bottles, that's where they get addicted to sugar taste. Remember, bottles are what? Starch. When they get in the body, they become what? Sugar. They go to primary school because that is what? Starch. And they go to high school, they get rice and then Irish fries, sodas, starch. So when they eat vegetable, it is tasteless. They don't eat. They will eat rice and ketchup and fries and quick to burn, bula, because sweet. And then the trouble will come. I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to end by giving you the percentage of prevalence of diabetes in Jamaica. Full-blown diabetics are at 13 The borderline, you get 13, you multiply by 3. Help me now. Is what, 39? We have 39% of us in this country living with borderline. We call it borderline, but it can give you stroke, can give you erectile dysfunction, can give you heart attack, can give you anything. So now you add 39 plus 13, help me now, is what? 42. That means 42 of our, 52, right? 39 plus 13, that 52, thank you. That means 52% of our population is either full-blown diabetic or borderline. This is a sick nation. Let me tell you about Belize. Belize is a country with 400,000 population. Full-blown diabetes, 17%. 17 by 3, help me now what? 51. 51 plus 17, it gives you what? 68. Every day, people are dying in Belize with diabetes. You walk on the street, you see blind people, you see amputation all over. You see amputation all over. And instead of saying it's diabetes, it is sugar, some of them go to the Bushman, the Obia man. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. In Jamaica, we do the same to find why things are happening to us. Right? So it is in fact 52%. Is this good news? No, this is bad news. This is bad news. Too many people sick. All right? I'm going to pause here and then get some questions and answers because I really want to finish at 5. Oh, yeah. Question number 1. Yes?
Yeah, what is the difference between the type 1 and the type 2? I know you said that the type 1 affects kids.
Yes.
And the type 2
adults. Yes.
But I mean, what is the difference? Why one attacks
Well, the difference is that type 1 is the pancreas stop producing insulin.
Okay.
And we call it autoimmune disease because we don't know what causes it. Maybe flu-like symptom, a virus in the pancreas that destroys the cells responsible for the production of insulin. Type 2 is eating too much, a lifestyle disease. And the single most important risk factor for type 2 disease, for type 2 diabetes is what? Obesity.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that means then, based on what you said, one is tied to the pancreas not producing insulin.
Yes.
And the other one is a lifestyle. It means that one is reversible and one is not.
Type 2 is reversible and one is not, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good question. Yeah.
One of my questions already answered, but the next one is Dr. Gombele. It's all the time that you do the minor blood test for diabetes by sticking the finger. It's that little machine there. It's correct at all times.
At all time.
Yes, or the fasting.
But guess what? My tomorrow YouTube will be on the machine. Those machines, they have lifespan. And if you are buying the machine, you ask the pharmacist to tell you when the machine is going to expire. Because my patient, I have 1,300 phone numbers on my phone. You see, It's a business I'm into, getting patient to come to me. A patient love when they can talk to the doctor. When I'm tired, I just lock it off. Like now it's on airplane mode. That my daughter said, Daddy, put on airplane mode. Nobody can reach you. And then she showed me how to put on airplane mode. When they ring, I don't know what happened. It's like the phone dead. All right. So it has a lifespan. Okay. And a patient called me at the middle of the night. He said, Dr. Gombele. I say, yes, because it's a church sister. And then, I don't want to disappoint. They say, yes, sister, what happened? I did my reading at 0.5. I said, but 0.5, we find it. They come conk out. You pinch them, they are not talking. They are into a coma. But you have 0.5 and calling me? I said, check your machine. Machine expired.
The machine expire. It will
The
give you a correct.
strips. The strips can expire too. The blood, not too much. So you have to clean your skin. So there are a few things that can affect the reading of the machine. I don't know if that's what you wanted to know.
I know that if the machine expires, you will get a wrong reading.
Yes.
But other from that, you will get a correct reading.
Oh, a correct reading. Yes.
I have persons says that they have done the fasting test.
Yes.
To the health center, and they have not shown that they are diabetic. But when they use that little simple machine,
yes,
it's way past 10. That means that's diabetes, right?
Yeah. But tell
And,
them to come to me, please. I will give you my card. Switch doctors. No, I mean, you have to switch, Don't be so loyal to one doctor unless you get good result. No, the doctor say that you are not diabetic. You go in your machine way up. Now something is wrong. Either the doctor was tired, or because you see they see 30 patients in the heat and they are tired, No, if we trust those machines, we trust them. If it is high, it is high. But we send to the lab because you do the fasting, and then the lab will take. But if that machine shows high, you're high. No, yeah, but like now, everybody has eaten. If I check, you have over 20, you have the diabetes. If you have over 15, you have the diabetes. But if you have like 9, you have 10, I was okay, maybe you just ate. But if I check now, machine high, 30, 29, 17, 15, then I will send you to do the lab, the fasting. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Even though you eat, it's good to be high, but not like high the machine cannot read. Okay. So switch them. Let them to come to downtown, 3 Beckford Street to Dr. Gombele. I will give you the card. Yes, brother.
Someone is asking, some children are born with diabetes. Can it be reversed?
Well, that is type 1, the babies. The babies born with type 1 diabetes. That cannot be reversed. And the problem we have, can you imagine a 9 years old trying to put them on diet? It's hell, 9. They don't even know what you're talking about. Like the other one said, but son, you have sugar. Say, no, but me no eat sugar. Me no drink sugar. So a lot of education, yes, that cannot be reversed because it's type 1. But diet can help to minimize the amount of insulin. Yeah. Another question? Yes, brother.
I believe that the members are being shortchanged. If it is that the health message is the right arm of the church, I personally don't believe that we spend 98% of the time preaching and leave out one of the most important aspect of the, because as you mentioned about education is poor,
Oh, yes. Yes.
Education is poor.
Yes.
And, for me personally, when my son was coming to this church as a youngster, you mentioned about packaging and cheese sticks and sweet biscuit. I've never given him none of those things. Every week, I make sure I buy the fruits. I live near, so I just go for it and some water. And when you look around, everybody's having a back drink, but chubby. My philosophy is chubby. If you want the child to be chubby, give him chubby. If you want him to be big, give him bigger. So these characteristics, go with the child. So I believe that parents is shorting the children, and I believe that God is going to charge.
I think so.
So
But
I believe that more education has to reach the church, because every year the church has baptized new persons. These people does not know what type of thing to use. And as I said earlier, you wasn't here, this morning, as I said, personal for me, 30% of what I eat is fruits.
yeah.
The next 30 is vegetable.
Yes.
The next 30 is grains.
Yes.
A wide cross section of grains.
Yes.
And I take it to the world, because right now I'm right across Jamaica, encouraging person to eat right and do the thing that will bring them happiness.
And then longevities, and then the quality of life, because if you eat well, you will live longer. You don't live longer with tube here and the tube there. You live longer with your faculties. I have a story to tell you at the end. You live longer. You see them 80. The last patient I saw yesterday was 81. Minding his own business, raising this. Not Adventist, no, but when I see them, I really chat with them. I take selfie with them. I give them my number. I say, listen, you're 81. But he came for chest pain because the doctor said, but Daddy always lifting weight. I say, you're not younger anymore. But he said, me do everything, doc. Me mind myself. Say, keep on doing that, but just in moderation. But how many 81 years old you will find? And what shocked me, he was in his banker phone. Banker phone. Me, I see a doctor now, call me later. Talking to somebody on the phone. Without glasses, I can't do that. I can't see who is calling me on my phone. I have to put my glasses. But he's 81 without the glass, one on his banker phone, and so and say, Anna, because it's lifestyle. So we have to preach with love, with patience, and the result will be there. But when we preach, don't expect the result automatically. Let's see, like seeds. One day, they will bring forth fruit in the hospital or where. But when I see Adventists on the bedside with quarterly, with the Bible, and they have stroke, I say, brother, you could read the Bible as you want. You have a stroke, because you got a stroke. You did something that is not right. And 90% of them, if I put them on the scale will not read. So you are right there. You are right there. But God is a God of what? Love. God of mercy. God will forgive the sin, but the consequences of sin, we will not. You see, so we still have to do the work. That's why I do what I'm doing. I should be somewhere today. Yes. Before the brother. Yes.
Person. Person.
Physical benefit.
Yes.
Because, take for example, you eat 3 times per day and 28 days, or 29 or 30 or 31 days, 3 times. The stomach does not get any rest. So I use 1 day as a fruits day, pure water and fruits, And then 1 day out of every month is a Sabbath, is a fasting and prayer for the rest.
But
That's my
I did 40 days of fruit. Do I have those who follow me on YouTube here? 40 days of fruit. But God can't go wrong, because what was the food? What was the diet in Eden? No, talk to me now. And people start, even some Adventists, they say, Dr. Gombele, be careful, you know. I said, I mean, I'm not expecting this from you. I didn't feel any way. I lost 5 pounds. I gained more energy. Of course, I drank water, some vegetable in between, but I ate fruit like just an animal. Fruit. I checked my sugar. It was normal. But the idea was to try really if fruit are bad for diabetic patients or not. Fruit are not bad, but how we eat fruit. We take fruit for dessert. You eat rice, whatever, and then you turn this side, you eat fruit. That's the wrong way to eat. Eat fruit as a meal. And then you'll benefit eating fruit. And eat it at what? Empty stomach. I did 40 days. Not for spiritual reason, just to make a point with my Adventist, my diabetic patient. Dr. Gombele, be careful. I said, careful of what? I'm not feeling any sick, right? So fruit are good. Do even 1 day a week of fruit. 1 day fruit, the other day salad, and then you move on. It will change a lot. Yes.
Yes. 2 persons. One is asking, what is the normal reading, or what is high? What is the high reading?
For diabetes?
Yeah.
No, fasting, right? Fasting range must be between 4 to 6, right? For those who have machines that read small numbers, between 4 to 6. Now, those who have machines that read bigger numbers, you multiply 4 by 18 and 6 by 80, you get a range. Now, from 6 to 7 is borderline. Anything over 7 is diabetes. Now, once you are diabetic now, we give more room, maybe between 4 to 6.5. It's good for a diabetic patient. But anything over 7 for fasting is too much. Now, you ate. 2 hours after must be below 9, no, below 8. Right? You just ate, and we test that 2 hours after must be below 8.
All right. The other question is, can a vegetarian or vegan develop diabetes?
I see plenty of them. I'm sorry to say, because they still stick on the LNG white vegans. The worst for us to consume today is gluten. Today's gluten is made of flour. And today flour is not the flour of 100 years. The flour today is what? Genetically modified. Let me tell you, rice, soy, today soy, wheat, which we make bread with. And I can go on. Irish potato, even some eggs. They're genetically modified. So those vegans that come to me, that they eat a lot of all wheat rice and they bread and they live on that and they have diabetes. And I see them, I say, remember, 21st century, I say, we have to unlearn, learn, relearn, unlearn what we know and bring it back to 21st century. I'm not saying that LNG was wrong, but you still have to use the concept that anything that hurts your body, you should not consume. If gluten was healthy then, and gluten today is not healthy, leave it. But we still cling on gluten. I'm tired of telling them. I'm tired. Malta is the worst we can take. If you take a bottle of Malta, you're going to see wheat, right? And those wheat are what? Genetically modified. If you drink Malta and you check your sugars, it will hit the roof. But we still drink Malta because we don't have much to drink. Yes. Yes, vegan can be diabetic if they eat too much rice and too much bread because they think I'm vegetarian.
All right. You say you fasted for 40 days, doctor.
Huh?
You say you fasted for 40
No, I ate
days.
fruit next time. I never fast. I ate fruit.
Pure fruit.
Yeah, a lot. Full my tummy. Plenty. I go to Curry, buy it. Ate. Yes.
Can anybody just get up and do that and without a medical examination?
Well, I don't have sugar, I don't have diabetes, I don't take medication, I don't have any, but if you are diabetic though, we have to find out what is your sugar rate first. Because if your sugar is high and you eat, it's going to be high. But as time goes by, it will come down. That's one. Two, if you have high cholesterol, sometimes too much vegetables, too much fruit, because fruit have fructose and glucose. And fructose get into the liver where they become cholesterol. So you do a little assessment, but even though that, you can say 1 meal fruit, 1 meal normal. I don't know when Adventists get this eating 3 meals a day. We should be eating 2 meals a day, you know. Are you with me? I don't know why about the 3 meals a day. We should be eating 2 meals a day, you know. But because of work, whatever, you could even say 2 meals fruit, 1 meal normal, or 2 meal normal, 1 meal fruit. And you do it for 1 month to see the change. The change will not come just today and tomorrow. You start calling back, Dr. Gombele, me not saying it. No. Do it at least for 2 weeks. Because when I did that, I lost 5 pounds. No, anything that you go and make you lose weight, it's healthy. Okay, one more question here.
Doc, it is known that you say
Huh?
persons who are diabetic has to eat often. And even in church, I saw persons like eating their sugar bun, say they are diabetic, they have to eat often, they can't.
But
And
no,
sometimes
because they must follow the doctor, eat everything as long as, but it doesn't work, you know. Oh, sorry, because it does not work. In fact, intermittent fasting working better for diabetics. Now we are finding it out because when you put your pancreas under control, when you say the pancreas can only secrete at 9 o'clock and 5 in the evening, and after that pancreas get rest. By getting a rest, it produces more insulin. But eating, pancreas will produce, and no longer pancreas will get burned out. They will end up on insulin. So that is really what I'm telling people. And then when you go, oh, my sugar low. You see, careful, your sugar low. But the sugar is low because you are taking too much medications, or you are eating the right stuff and the sugar is going low. What I do, the lower is go the sugar, I reduce the medication. The lower it goes, I reduce, and get what? They come off diabetes. Yes? Yes. May I tell you, send them to me? Everybody, may I tell you, send them to me? Say the same thing, man. Send them to me. Yeah, you're just talking. You're going to send them to me. All right, I'm going to listen now. Yeah, I'm listening now. No, you see, let me tell you how a doctor mind works. Let me tell you how a doctor minds work. When the doctor comes in his office, he sees 30 people. 30 multiplied by 5,000. That's a whole heap of money, you know. You think the doctor is going to wait for you to hug him and then talk, and no, I'm quick. The sugar high, give medication. The sugar high, they increase the medication. normally, if you go, even though Google will tell you as bad as Google is, you say, Google, why people go to low sugar? They will tell you too much medication. Even Google will give you the right answer, you know. Huh? Of course, that's right. We know that. But sometimes we have to give drug because of the disease we are dealing with, you know. That diabetes is better than lupus or other stuff. But if a patient comes to you, the sugar high, I cut the medication. That's the best way to do. That means we are over medicating patient. Yes. That's simple as that. Or patient did not eat and took the medication. That can happen. But if you're eating balanced meal, you're eating the right stuff and the sugar going down, that means your diet is working. And the doctor should cut you off medication. You are losing weight, you're exercising, you are eating vegetable, you are eating fruit, you are drinking water, you are sleeping on time, and the sugar start going down. That means we have to cut your medication. Yes? There's a question here.
Ryan, wait on the mic.
Well, I have 10 more minutes to go.
Tell me about carrot.
No, carrot is okay.
It don't
Raw.
trouble the-
But when you boil, it increases the glycemic index. You know, when it's raw, it's good. When you boil, then it increases the glycemic index. That means it converts quickly into sugar and it can spike the sugar. But raw, it's good. Because it has vitamin A and all kinds for the eyes. Carrot is good. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry to be turning back, but we are talking about the genetically modified
Food, yes.
However, there are a lot of nuts going around.
Yes.
Pumpkin seed,
Yes.
quite a few more. I can't remember them right
No,
now.
I can help
But
you.
yes.
Pumpkin seed,
Yes.
corn,
Yes,
banana,
yes,
papaya. You can look at them. They look just too nice to be fruit.
yes,
And you can keep them for long and they do not get destroyed.
yes,
You know, Irish potato is one of them.
Yes.
Sweet potato.
yes,
These are genetically modified.
yes.
See, finish your question before I answer.
What I would like to put forward is that if a person see a nice sunflower seed, pack up sunflower seed, and say, I'm going to plant some of this, it don't go. If you get some pumpkin seed and do it like that, it don't go neither.
The natural one.
Those are special. Yes, for them to when they reap in bulk. While you get the real one now. Like they kill it out.
Yeah, but there's a reason, you know.
Yes.
Because the earth has lost, this is Jamaica, right? We have lost, I think, 75% of the nutrient on the earth for the pesticide and burning. So when we plant something, that means we only eat 30 of the 100% that's and ideally, the genetically modified things look great because it will increase the production. But the body, the human body, were not meant for that type of food. And that's the problem we're having now. So we're ingesting chemical that can go and tamper with our DNA. Listen to me, I don't want to go about the COVID and the DNA. Don't ask any question for that, you know. But let me talk about the food and the DNA. Because they modify the DNA of the food, and the same food, it behaves like strangers in our body. Hence, problems. The children, autism, hyperactive children, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, people just fatigue, chronic fatigue. People just tired of no reason. Because what we are consuming, and I tell you what, when you go to the farmers meeting, you know, and the farmers have a corporation, you know, where they're going to borrow money, you know. For you to borrow money, you have to buy the product. So it is organized in a way that you cannot survive without them. For you to get grant for the corporation of farmers, you have to buy the seeds that they sell. And 99% of the seeds that they sell, they are what? Genetically modified. But it will take us time to work on the ground again. We know to do that. So that you can plant what you want to eat and eat what you plant. It's the best way, you know. Because those you see in the supermarket, they may look nice, but they are not healthy at all. No, man, they make it that way. They make it that way.
Oh.
The system make it that way. But you can still plant something, man. You put the cattle and then you put the manure, you work the land. What about the sabbatical for the land? That you leave the land free for 1 year without planting. And the land gain back the nutrient from the rain. The rain transport from the river Nile. When the bank up, it take all the nutrients from the sea to the land. That's how the Egyptians used to plant the corn seasonally, depending on when the Nile is. So when we go back to the nature, then we are going to get back to eating right. Yes. I have 5 minutes. No, 8 minutes left. Yes.
Yes. Can we trust our doctors, Dr. Gombele? Because my mom had type 2 diabetes.
Yes.
For years she has it. But since of lately, before she died, I noticed her getting thinner and thinner. So when I went to the doctor with her, I said to the doctor, I noticed mom is getting very thin.
Yes.
What's the cause of that? All the doctor said to me is, then if she have diabetes, what you think? Now that I'm hearing you saying this, knowing that my mother died from pancreatic cancer due to the same diabetes, and shouldn't that doctor knows that over the years, the diabetes could have gone to different cycles in her body and changed to this. My mother died from cancer 2 months later from that. The doctor told us when I brought her to him that my mom has pancreatic cancer and all of her stomach and everything is gone. So we can just prepare ourselves because she only has 2 months to live.
Well,
this is her doctor, no doctor. This is her doc.
Well, you switch now. You have to come to me because that doctor did a good job. But let me tell you how we are trained. We are trained that all the diseases are chronic. We can't change them. And then for the 7 years of medical studies, you are lucky if you get 2 hours of nutrition. As you step in pharmacology, how to prescribe. So don't blame them. No, another doctor can come like this because I have diabetes in the family, personal interest as Seventh-day Adventist. Is there anything better than just medications? And you start reading. It takes a lot of time reading, you know, reading, going to seminars. I'm coming, going to seminars here and there. And then you put all your knowledge in a packet to deliver. That's just a typical doctor from university. That diabetic will make you blind. You can reverse it. And then pancreatic cancer, from the time you diagnose, it's 5 months. But there's a reason for that. Because when people come to you, they say, my tummy hurt to me, you treat it for ulcer. You treat it for acid reflux. And you don't send to do the barium meal to catch the pancreatic cancer at an early stage, you know? And you treat people for ulcer without even sending them to do barium meal, you know? They give you Lanzap, Zantac, Nexium. But the pain still coming for 5 years, and then one doctor now send you to do the test, pancreatic cancer stage 4, you know? But if we do the checks earlier, any things that we catch earlier, it is better. So you now know, mommy had diabetes and pancreatic. So you have to be on tune. If you have burning in the stomach, you go to the doctor, say, send me to do a test. Good. Yes. So you do it once every year. That just giving you this and do no. And you check your sugar every 6 months. Buy the machine. If you're not diabetic yet, buy the machine. Check. And if you're diabetic, you know better now than mommy. So you exercise, you eat right, and then you can reverse or only take one medication, because every single medication has what? Side effect. Yes.
I just want to say thank you for multiple reasons for the information that you're sharing today. Because one, it is important for us to understand, and I was doing some research and some studies too, and what I identified is that a lot of doctors don't treat root causes, they treat the symptoms. And because they treat the symptoms, they give you medications to take care of the symptom, but the root cause is still there, and it continues until it ends up into something worse. Also, what I appreciate you saying is the fact that we have to be careful as to how we take care of our bodies and what we put in our bodies. Because at the end of the day, like you said, you know, God will take care of the sin piece, but the symptoms of the sin we have to live with. And there are a lot of times when us as Adventists, we know the health message, but at the very same time, we say, I have to eat what I have to eat. And then when we say we have to eat what we have because it is what I have to eat, then we continue to eat the same thing and we end up with the problems. The other piece of it too is this. Most times when you go to doctor, you said this, and you get medication, you go for a problem and you get medication, you end up now with 10 different problems because of the one medication. And again, this is why it is important for us to understand that we have to take care of the holistic body, which is part of everything, not just the spiritual, because sometimes we pay so much attention to the spiritual, but we have to understand that the body is also a temple. And we have to start making life-changing decisions. It's a process, but we have to first make up our minds to know that, hey, I have to give up the meat, I have to give up the soda, I have to give up certain things. And then the other pieces too. I love grapes. And it was just this morning, I bought a bunch of grapes, like 5 pounds of grapes. And while I was eating the grapes, I said, these grapes have no seed in them.
Seedless.
And I'm saying, when I look back at Genesis, it says, fruit-bearing seeds is what you should eat. And I'm like, I'm wasting money because I'm eating something I think is good for me, but it's nothing.
I like that. No, but my fruit though, I work at KPH, I go to college, I walk with my 2 feet. And I go there at 5 o'clock. When grandma want to go back, they just give things like that, you know. Because at the end of the day, where you buy the fruit also matters. You know, all those frozen fruits, they don't look real to me. You know, they keep them there for months. The real mango, if you don't eat it today, tomorrow it gets spoiled, right? And you throw it on the ground. And the vitamin, the nutrient get back on the ground. And you plant, that's how the cycle continues. Right? But you can have a mango there for weeks and the mango looking at you. You get up some of those food. I don't want to name the fast chain. Put that food there. It will be there for months. And what they do sometimes, they just fry it over and resell it. You know? So even though those who eat some kind of, but still look the source, where it's coming from. The worst thing I realized are those 6-week chicken, you know. When they bring the boys with break breast to me, I ask 2 questions. Too much soy product? Yes. Too much chicken? Yes. I don't want to call it brand, but there is a soy brand in the market here that the mother thinks it's healthy for the boys. And the boys come with big breasts. And nothing embarrassing to boy as to have the breast because they're going to tease him at school. I see a boy, a bad breast, you this, And I tell the mother, take him off this brand of soy product. It goes right flat because there's this soy genetically modified. They have a high level of phytoestrogen. That's like a woman hormone. Well, I can ask somebody who's 50 to take it for the menopausal imbalance, but not a boy, not a young man. You're going to have too much of woman hormones. So if we don't do research then we're going to harm our own bodies. So, two last questions, and I want to leave you at
Yes.
two last. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Thank you. My doctor was concerned that my body was too alkaline, and I am concerned because I thought to be more acidic is a more dangerous way for your body to be instead of more alkaline.
Yes.
Is that right?
But we have to be careful about that, you know, because like stomach must be acidic. God made it that way. Some areas of our body must be acidic and some areas must be alkaline. And then just eat the right food because the body has a buffet to keep the acid and alkaline into a track. Yes, more vegetable, a little of baking soda here, some of the fruit, good. But too much alcohol, too much this, too much sugar, make your body acidic. But do not try to force, I say with too much baking soda because no, that's not right. Maybe a pinch of baking soda, good, but not a big, because the body itself, if eat the right stuff, I mean, will balance the alkalinity and the acidity. But then, if you make stomach alkaline, then we're going to run into a problem because it must be acidic. It is the acid that kills the germ. It is acid that helps to break some food down and break them down and emulsify. So you just eat right and do not be concerned about is acidic or alkaline. Just eat the right stuff. A lot of vegetable, you get good alkaline food, and the body will balance itself. This is the last question. Anybody else has? Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, I've discovered that in these last days, I'm having a flu-like symptoms. I don't know. It has raised my curiosity.
Right, flu-like symptom?
Yes. You see, others might have it. Others might have it, but they are not bold enough. But I am bold enough.
You're bold enough.
Yes.
You have beat every one of the symptoms.
Yes. I have a flu-like symptom.
Okay.
My throat sometimes feel, you know,
yes,
and so on. But have been tested, even going into the bank and in business places and so on. And my temperature, even
normal,
is all right.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if something is wrong.
Well, I can tell you this. Maybe you have some flu-like symptom diseases. I don't want to call the name. And your body fought it and won, right? And then that's how the books, that's how we are taught. Once you are infected the first time, your body builds the antibody, the antenna, to identify the same germ next time it comes. You were here in chikungunya time. Have we as a country experienced something like that? No. Chikungunya to me was worse. I all knew somebody who knew somebody, people couldn't walk. And after a while, it went down. And the more people get infected, the more the infection comes down because people build what? Immune system. But you send people to lock themselves up, to wash their hands. You make them virgin to the infection. That means when they go, they get it, it's going to lick them what? Hard. The body is made of trillion, billion of virus and bacteria. This is science. This is not Dr. Gombele. This is science, right? And then even in the floor, that's why I tell people who want to flush out careful. Some bacteria must be there. Good bacteria must be there. When you flush all of them, you're going to run into what? A problem, right? But then if we protect too much, and we catch the virus, it will leak us hard. So we have to get some kind of those virus. Can you imagine I work at KPH? I must have got some of that virus. And my body is strong enough to lick it down. Right? Because the more you run for it, when it catch you, but if you're exposed to even a little bit, not too much, your body activate the natural immune system. That's what we are taught in med school, and I don't think I want to change to tell you. You have to be exposed a little bit, and that exposure build the immune system, and when the real exposure comes, it fight it. That is called what? Vaccination. Not this one though, but the other vaccination. They take a little bit of the germ, they put it in your body, because this is not the germ, it's a protein that mimic, that look like. And that protein will spike the immune response until when nobody knows. They call it spike protein. Go to FDA and read. Right? It's not hiding science, it's there. Just look. Don't go to YouTube, go to FDA website, read. Because of the technology, these are new things, and we think we wanted to do something quick now. That's what we did. But the virus be human or what, the virus is there, and we have to do all the protocol, because honestly, we can't run from it. You must cut it some way. But the level of exposure, the viral load, the amount of the virus getting into your body has also a lot to do with, right? That's it now. Yes. Yes, Brother Peterson. This is the last question for you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
all right,
sir.
all right, all right, all right.
You have said this morning
Yes.
that the earlier
Yes.
you detect
Yes.
the problem,
It's
it
the
is
better.
more, it is better and
Yes.
easier
Yes.
to counteract or whatever.
Yes.
So I am saying, like how I am having this,
But
so
you still do that.
I'm wondering if no is the right time.
Well, may not call it down the right time. When you start having stuffy nose, coughing, runny nose, all right?
Don't have that.
And the fever, the first episode of fever in you, let us know.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Not just a little cough here, a little cough there.
Thanks.
Because everybody can cough for many other reasons. Yes. So this was the last question. The brother had the last question.
Portland,
Yes.
and she's on a 30 days fasting.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
And you know,
7 days fast, 7-day fasting.
no, 30 days to do it.
Okay, 30 days. Okay. Okay. Okay.
And you know, I was very concerned. I sell the pink salt, the Malian salt, and it's like she said she get a vision that you need to use it because it has over 84 trace minerals.
Uh-huh.
So she bought one and she's on the journey. So I don't know if anything that you need to, if you can tell me that we can add to help to enhance our journey.
She's on the fasting.
Yeah, for 30 days.
30 days. So she's not even eating porridge, not food
she said,
straight.
no, just, I guess, mostly just water. I would think that, you know.
Well, maybe warm water, but
Okay.
I will not advise that type of fasting though. That's very rough because what happened though, after 40 days,
Not
you,
40, not
no,
30.
no, after 40 days,
Yes.
you deplete all the mineral in your body, you know. That's why Christ could only fast 40 days. And Christ knows. Yeah, but 30 days is still close to that. Then now you must then come back to do the right thing. Maybe warm fluid could help. Warm instead of cold. But I would advise her to take even a fruit. You were telling her that, right?
But
If it,
in fact, she bought the pink salt, as I said, that it has 84 trace minerals. So she said that because like she says she get a vision and
Oh,
it
they-
can start to help her with on the journey. The pink
yeah, I know. But then, you know, you still need, you have some essential minerals and non-essential minerals. And if you're not eating, then your body cannot build. That means you're going to deplete those essential minerals that we cannot put in. We have quite a few of those, you know, that the body produce them. So you just have to eat the right so that the body can produce them, right? So, warm, to eat warm and to work less. Yeah, you know. Yeah. So, yeah. But I just hope that it works okay. But I will not encourage. Maybe 1 week. She's not, huh? Yeah. But 30 days could harm the body.
Sharpness or alertness and all of these, and so she have done about 10 days already, She have done it already, and then she start, she have done 10 days, and then she start.
Maybe to drink some warm, maybe some tea, warm tea, some warm fluid.
Periodically.
Yeah, periodically. Yeah. All right. So, folks, thank you very much for the interactive session. It was very, very good. And then good program, good participation. And I hope we have learned a lot. I have learned from you. And then in November, I want to come back for a diabetes clinic. We can arrange, find all the diabetics, and we can have a clinic with them.
I would want for us at some point to invite you on to take on another more common disease, hypertension.
No, yeah, because definitely, because in fact, hypertension is even more drastic. Than diabetes because a bad news, the pressure goes up. It's bad news, but bad news, sugar will not affect it, You get excited. So hypertension is even more prevalent than diabetes. So you're welcome anytime. Let me know 1 month before. I think
we will do it more as an AY service.
That's fine.
So that you don't necessarily have to travel.
No problem.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doc.
You're welcome. So God bless.